Right, you are tuned into One Play One Voice. This is where Liberians meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. Tonight is a special edition of One Play One Voice. We have a very great personality tonight in the studio. We will be talking to him from Nigeria. It's an awesome time, when we can connect, around the world through the means of technology. So tonight we have a very great brother in the studio tonight. But we'll give him a chance to kind of introduce himself to the audience. Brother Tuider, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Very good. How's
good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How's Nigeria? How's Nigeria?
Well, look, it's a freezing time over here in Abuja.
Oh, wow.
It's about 2 a.m. After 2 a.m. in the morning here.
Oh, wow.
I was in Atlanta for the holidays with the family there.
Okay.
Left and traveled to the Paris. And was in Paris for a little bit and then to Chad. So I just arrived here in Nigeria about a few days ago.
Wow. Thank you.
So I'm going to be here for about a week and then I'm returning back to Liberia.
Wow, thank you so much. One thing I follow you, man. Mr. Tuider, you always taking a tour, around the place. Your work, kind of really impressed me to kind of do a lot of research, trying to get out to you. Thank you so much for being in the studio tonight. But audience, again, you tune into One Play One Voice. This is where Liberians meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. Bringing back our African tradition to the USA. Let's unite. It's all about African connection. So I want you to stay tuned because tonight is going to be a great night where we will have our brother talking to us. He's all the way in Nigeria. So again, stay tuned. We will be right back.
Jano Yawonima Bia Anyina Bonyiremo
Let's go, everybody so queer so. Let's go, no que kenga let's go, oh me. Let's go, malodie mama we. Sayo le,
Bageba Mirane,
Bageba bere wan kleo, Bageba mire yore kada krudebe, me bana pampenye. Yakenewe, Bakbeko keko kenewe, yagbare so queer so. Belia kenepona, yela yakemba, bale so queer so. Mineka kenewe, papa koko kenewe, ayagbare so queer so. Zayo le,
Wakumpile Serapeda como pesa calada de Nakaka. Mia Kaikala Kakle. The way you looking, jelly butter cooking, no monkey can take you from me. Let me be your king, so you can be my queen. I'm not joking. Assemble. Luna Pele Adam, I would have been so. Masami level and wake here. They're going to my country. They see. Bobo in your care, you miss. Jeans were great. Yeah.
let me now. Come in now. Me ga desi kola konazia, me ga consigo ga konasea kakwe yega kenu webu eya gbane ya so kwide se so cuida seu leseu loge kenga leseu bebe leseu malodie mama we ulewe kakum baby benne Quiet. Do the pede padrama with the piso.
Again, you are tuned into One Place, One Voice. This is where Liberian meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity, bringing back the African tradition through the USA. Let's unite the upper African connection. Tonight, we have an awesome gentleman, a man of personality, William Tuider Sr. He is with me in the studio tonight, speaking to him from all the way in Nigeria, that is all the way in West Africa. Brother Tuider, are you there?
Yes, sir, brother, I'm here.
Very good, very good, very
Once
good.
again, good evening, and thanks for having me on.
No problem. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, please? Thank you very much.
Well, of course, I'm a son of Liberia. Came from the southeastern region of the country, which is Grand Cru, to be specific. But grew up in Monrovia, went to high school in Monrovia, college in the United States, and as a young man, about 20 years old, I took on activism, and for many years I was involved with many other countries around the world, including specifically Central America and some countries in Africa that was involved in civil war, Angola specifically. We got involved to stop those wars. And then, of course, in the 1990, Liberia herself got into war. So we got involved peacefully, because I was never involved or supported any armed group. I was all about peace. And peacefully helped to stop that war in Liberia. During that time, I was able to work with some notable Liberians, the late General George Washington, Ambassador Winston Tubman, and some other prominent Liberians, to stop the war. Well, Madam Salif, was elected in 2005. Before that, prior to that, Charles Taylor was elected in 97, and another war came, and this time I got involved. We then head to Accra, Ghana, where we got involved, play a pivotal role in that to stop the war. So we were able to do that. And like you say in your opening remarks, that this is about peace. And that's what I'm all about, promoting peace in Liberia and other parts of Africa. I was even involved in helping to bring peace as a young activist to Northern Ireland, where those people that were fighting for their freedom against England. I supported their causes also. So that's who I am. And then 2000, right after Madam Salif, I got involved with the politics of Liberia, helping politicians, doing things, all in the name of bringing good governance to Liberia. I supported politicians for many years. I was a small businessman who did back and forth, had businesses in Liberia, and we got involved. Was never interested in government. Never, even though I know a lot about politics, me being an activist for many years, but I was never interested in government. So what we did was help politicians, again, in hope of bringing good governance to making our country better. But instead, we the Liberian people we were faced with so many disappointments and frustration from these politicians. Something else I would like to say. We all, our country. I always told people this country is such a beautiful country, and
but William, we coming there. We coming there. I just wanted you to just make sure that the audience know who you are. Yes. We coming there.
Right.
And that's
why.
Then,
after helping, sorry for jumping over you.
No, it's okay.
After
all right.
helping and doing all of that,
I
was able to bring politicians together to run for office, president, vice president. I was the guy who, in 2011, Winston Tubman came to me, asked me to be his running mate, and I told him that, listen, I was not interested. I like being a businessman.
And that's coming. That's my next question right there. I want to ask you.
So go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that nice introduction. To tell the audience who you are. And that's taking me my next question. I was doing some research and I found out that you actually ran for the 2017 election, and knowing the kind of person you are, very energetic, someone who I know that trying to bring your people together. Let me ask you this question. What was it? What was your experience during the 2017 election that was just held in Liberia? Almost 2 years now. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. It was a good experience for me, and it was also a bad experience. Not for me particularly, but let me tell you why it was a good one. It allowed me to travel around the country, listen to our people, befriended so many people who I met. Based on the situation in the country, the dishonesty in the country with politicians, the distrust with politicians in the country, I was able to go around with the country, meeting people. Whenever people come out and listen to me speak, they would say in my face, I would hear even people saying little things outside. This guy is a God-fearing person. This guy is a God-fearing person. Why did he come so late? That was the question I was hearing. But they would come back to me and say, you know what? I was going to vote for this person, but I'll vote for you.
Wow.
And, that was a great experience because for me, I like to be honest about stuff.
That's right.
People would tell you, as a politician, you got to say what the people want to hear. No, I would tell people, either you vote for me or you're done. But I'm not going to make up stories here. What is happening in Liberia is real. You don't have to make up stories. and I was honest with people, and it made me feel good. The fact that I was not saying something else to them with the intention of doing something else, you know, and it made me feel good. It made my running mates feel good. Now the sad part is meeting so many people around the country. This country, Liberia, 172 years old, 73 this year maybe. And brother, there's nothing over there to show for it. It was a heartbreaking experience to move around our country. And believe me, I travels around the world like that. I have traveled to many little African countries, and all of these little countries have surpassed our own country. And I'm not talking about these other big countries, you know, just little African countries. So it was a heartbreaking experience for me in that thing.
Wow. Again, you are tuned into One Play One Voice. There is where Liberians meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. That was the voice of William Tuider Sr. Thank you so much for that great question that you answer. Again, I know Liberia been through a lot for the past 2 years, and we're trying to make sure to pull things together. But let me ask you this question: do you support the protest that was recently held in Liberia?
Well, well, look, born in Liberia, grew up in Liberia as a teenager, traveled to the United States, studied in the U.S., got involved politically with American politicians, and like I stated earlier, being an activist and all of that. Democracy is part of my DNA.
Wow.
So to answer your question, 100% I support the rights of the people to protest. Constitutionally, I do support the people's rights to protest. But I'll tell you something else. I disagree, though, with others who were calling for the president to step down. And let me make myself clear.
Right.
Even though I support the protest, people were calling for the president or wanted to remove the president out of office. Now, in making myself clear, I totally disagree with the president and his administration handling of the government.
Right.
The administration approach in their so-called pro-poor agenda has caused total discontent and absolute hardship for the Liberian people. But looking at the country history in the last 30, 40 years,
right,
with a bloody civil war that took the lives of over 250,000 Liberians, setting our country 100 years back, any reasonable person would agree that we need to be very careful. Let me say this to you. Liberia was sitting on a time bomb when President Salif took over the government in 2000. She was elected 2005 and 2006. She was sworn in. Few years into her administration,
That's right.
with the help of the international community, the switch on that time bomb was turned off. With Salif help with the international community,
Right.
on mayor, the switch was turned off. Unfortunately for Liberia, the switch is back on today. And this is why we need to be careful. You get that?
I got that. Real sound. Wow.
We cannot react, we as Liberians, even though with all the trouble and hardship our people going through, like George Weah, don't like President Weah, he was elected.
Right.
And just throwing him out of office is not the way forward for our country.
That's right.
So we have to be careful how we react to the political climate in the country. We need responsible, in my view, we need responsible leadership in both the government and the opposition. The administration, the president, must understand that he and his team, they are there to serve. And putting the needs of the people and the country first is paramount. So, how you put the people needs first? You need to bring about employment opportunity that is lacking in the country. I mean, go to Liberia. I believe you was in Liberia
August of 2019.
3 months ago.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. You know, so the government, in putting the people needs first, they need to work harder in bringing about employment opportunities, high standard of education. And I say high standard, top-notch education. You know, I'm sick and tired of everybody just coming, this person opened a school. There's a school here. But what kind of education are we giving our children?
Right.
You understand? Today in Liberia, many of the kids that are graduating from college cannot really write anything. That graduating from high school cannot do anything. You know, so the government has to give them high standard of education, adequate health care, and more importantly, I would like to stress this out. Government, they have to implement a true sense of justice in that country. A true sense of justice. You know, I like to talk about justice to people during my campaign. I was talking to a lot of people about justice because justice, to me, is the pillars of good governance and democracy. There's no two ways about it. And anything short of that will cause disenchantment that might lead to a political upheaval that we keep having every time in the country. You know, you have every other month, every other 2 months, some save the state, remove the president, And you cannot just blame the protester. You have to blame, the blame have to go on the government because the government needs to act right. The government needs to act right. Even if the government was doing the right thing, if the government, and you know one thing the government is missing,
Right.
You can start building the Liberian infrastructure. Go ahead and start building it. I mean, we're not doing it now. You know, every time I listen to the president and some of his supporters, and I'm not saying these things to show any hatred or towards the president. He got a hard job. Let's be honest about that.
So, Brother William, that's why lead me to my next question. So, having such an experience with the government, so, what is the way moving forward? Yes.
I'll tell you something. There's the president, the way forward. You know, there's so many things the president can do. The way forward for our country is we must go back. You know, I read Lee Kuan Yew.
Right.
Lee Kuan Yew was the guy who built Singapore.
Okay.
I read a book of Lee Kuan Yew where he said, when the journalist asked him about his country, he was the prime minister who turned Singapore to what it is today. And I would urge that President Weah, if you haven't read that book, to go ahead and get it and read it. Lee Kuan Yew said, when the journalist asked him, how did you change Singapore? What did you do to make Singapore today to be on the same level with the United States and many other big countries?
Right.
And his answer was, we going back to the basics. Going back to the basics. Meaning, in our Liberian way of speaking, like the old adage in Liberia, we say, starting from scratch. So the way forward is to start from scratch, James. Because look at Liberia like a house. You know, we built this house, but the foundation we used in building this house was nothing but sand. So you building a house with sand, using foundation, sand and mud, without strong concrete and speed in it, what do you think going to happen to your house every now and then when a small wind come and hit you? And that is why I say we don't have to break the house down, but let's go back to scratch and start building a better, strong foundation. And brother, this foundation that I'm talking about is a true justice system. Because justice, this democracy we always talking about, what makes some of these countries so successful. Justice, my definition of justice is very fundamental to the direction of our nation's success. So, justice is what I call the pillars of democracy. So what we need to do is start from scratch Will we now start implementing the basic thing for our country?
That's right.
Because you see, a strong justice system will help implement and strengthen our value system, ethics, morality in the country. Because we are lacking, we have serious moral issues in our country. You
Wow.
know that.
Wow.
We have it. The government people will lie to you. They will rip you off with your little business and money
Mm.
and a whole lot of other stuff. Really don't care about you. Even the little guy in the street, you gave him money to buy you something, he's thinking about what he can take out of your money.
Wow.
But brother, if you have a strong justice system in Liberia,
Mm-hmm.
believe me, in a relatively short time period, Liberia will accomplish greater things.
So, Brother
I
William,
truly believe in that.
thank you so much for that, for making that great point. What I'm hearing tonight from you, so when they come to reconciliation, so
Yeah.
how can we use reconciliation to bring our people together? Because at this current movement, what I'm observing, I do a lot of research on social media and other places. What I'm seeing when it comes to Liberia in West Africa, I'm seeing a lot of hate. I'm seeing a lot of divisive thing going on among Liberians. I mean, right now a lot of people are confused in terms of what's going on. So how can you use
That's right.
reconciliation to tell our people that will listen to you so that we can be able to come back together?
Yeah, good question, brother.
Thank you.
We have a saying in Liberia, an old adage, where they say, divided together we stand, divided we fall.
That's right.
And our country, our people, we have been divided for so many years, tribe against tribe, this one against that one. Um, my I would say policy, the way I see reconciliation. Every time in Liberia, when there's a situation like we have today, let me use our brothers and sisters from as an example. Our crime brothers and sisters from Grand Judah and our Nima and Mana brothers from Lima County.
Right.
And I hope your listening audience who are from Grand Judah and Nima County would bear with me. I'm not looking to start anything. I'm just trying to use an example. Or even the conquer against the native, because I don't support that. I'm a native boy, like we say, 100%. Both my parents are from Grand Crew. I'm proud of that.
Right.
But it does not make me better than a Congo man. A Congo man is a Liberian man. I don't care what you say about that.
That's right.
Yes, we had a history. We had a history. Fine. That some of them stay doing their stuff today. Who cares? We need to bring our people together. The bad ones, there will be no room for that.
That's right.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me see if I can break my vision of this reconciliation, how we can do it, in my view. I remember Mrs. Salif appointed George Weah.
That's right.
The current president has a good way ambassador to cheer or bring the people together. If I'm mistaken, somebody can later, correct me on your show or send me a message.
Sure.
But George Weah headed this program, and what they did They brought in money. It's usually, let's go get our elders from Grand Chile, get our elders from Lima County, bring them together. You know, everybody come, we cook, we talk about the problems a little bit, and then at the end of the day, we pay everybody way back, we give them a little money, and the guys who on top of the stuff pick the buck up the money. Then everybody go home. When everybody go home, how was it? Oh, it was good, we had a good time. But the people will go home to the problems they left home with. You get that?
I got it. I'm following.
It will never solve anything. So just calling a meeting to gather our people for a discussion to reconcile, and at the end they have a big party, it never worked, and it will never work. I think it's a waste of time. The best way in my view of fostering reconciliation is through some kind of policy we can put together. And this policy must be fair to the people, to the Liberian people.
Right.
Whether it's our Nima brothers and sisters or our current brothers and sisters, the policy that we will put on paper must be fair. And the implementation of that policy must also be fair. And this policy that we put together is a policy that will move the social mobility upward. There's nothing in Grand Chile, nothing there. Lima County, nothing there. These people coming for a reconciliation meeting.
Right.
Don't send them back with nothing. We have to bring something through developmental initiatives.
That's right.
And those developmental initiatives are education, proper education, better schools, buildings, better school buildings. Not just you go build a little thing. We should stop building school buildings that our grandparents we went to. Let's build better schools for our children today.
That's right.
A better health facility, job training for employment, some form of infrastructure development. Believe me. And this policy should also include, my brother, a real justice system. There's nothing we can do in our country. If you don't have justice in there, ain't nothing going to happen for anybody. Nothing will happen. So even though we are trying to move the people's social mobility up by bringing in development initiative, education, healthcare, job training, infrastructure development, housing, but justice must be part of that, because justice will intrinsically transform our thought process. The way, our problem in our country is the way we think.
That's right.
It's the way we think. And the only thing that can help us to think differently is a true justice system. Because it will foster social harmony and economic and political stability. That's what justice would do. You give the people all these things. You get education. You get proper health care. Y'all get jobs. Y'all can go to work. But what brings social harmony between the people and political stability is a fair and unflinching justice system. This is the only way I see that we can actually succeed in reconciling our people, brother.
Very good, very good, very good. Thank you so much for that great question that you just answered at One Play, One Voice. That was the voice of Mr. Tuider Sr. Speaking to us from Nigeria at One Place, One Voice. But again, audience, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be asking our brother Tuider to let us know, because we see him doing a lot of work across, the continent, taking the tour. So we want to ask him, what were some of the previous, help that he used to help government, and what he is willing to stay contribute towards the government of Liberia, and how they can use that input to pull things together in Liberia, because when you go on social media, all you hear is trying to criticize. But my question I ask, what are we doing to contribute to the country? What is your input? I know you want to criticize and say the government is this. The problem is this. And we know our problem, but what are you doing to contribute to the problem? So again, don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We will be right back, and when we come back, we will ask our brother to tell us exactly how he been helping the government to resolve some problem, and what he intend to do, before the next election 2023. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
So we sport. Yeah. I'm back on track. I'm back 2018. Chicken go. Marshall Highway. Then we'll get seen. I'm bringing soldier, My daddy. I'm back with Sawa. Emmanuel, where it down? Probably I'll be gone president. 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 Joey I'll be gone president. Probably I'll be gone president. Probably I'll be gone president because they sorry in Liberia. That's a cat. They want to name your phone, but they never want to name your phone. Anybody can become somebody, So we have become African best. From that he become European best. From that he become our best. From that he become ambassador. From that he become senator. Today he become president for us. Today he become president for us. I mean, we go you want time, but the we did it. The we did it. Everybody enjoy yourself. Liberia enjoy yourself. Where will be where will be Our president, you know the people there, everybody don't care, you know. Together we stand, Father we call, you know.
Prime Minister Daniel Shaka, shout us, Daniel Siame, from my ATU.
Probably I'll become president, probably I'll become president, probably I'll become president, probably I'll become president. So we are.
Again, you tune into One Play One Voice. This is where Liberians meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. I want to recognize our audience tonight. One thing I often try to do is to recognize the audience, on the line, because these are the people that take their time, of their schedule to watch us. So first I want to recognize Asata Morris Fofana. We say welcome to One Play One Voice. You are highly welcome. This is your home. Feel free. We also want to take this time to welcome Afro Debbie Lewis from New Jersey. We say welcome to One Play One Voice, brother. Bishop Joshua Cummings, the man of God. I want to welcome you tonight, into the studio. And also our sister Edith Campbell. We say welcome to One Play One Voice. And rest of you that will watch this show after the broadcast, we want to say thank you so much, because we believe, without you, we cannot have any show here. But tonight, it's a very special edition of One Place, One Voice. We have an incredible brother in the studio trying to analyze some things that go wrong in our country. And before I even go over to him, to turn the mic over to him, I want to say this. My fellow Liberians, I understand your frustration. I know we are all on social media trying to criticize the government. We are criticizing that person. But folks, there is a time for us to come together. There is a time for us to unite. There is a time for us to rebuild. But again, I respect you being the critical voices, trying to make sure that the government get in check and balance. But however, we must take caution, because at the end of the day, we are, washing our clothes in the street. You know what that means. So again, we are here tonight with a very personality, William Tuider Sr, who have a very intense vision for the country of Liberia, a man of experience, and he trying to analyze some things in Liberia. So Brother Tuider, we want to ask you this question. So I know and I learned that you've been making some efforts in the past, to help government. What are some of the efforts, and what can you tell government based on our current situation at this time, so that they might reach them, they might listen to you and see how we can put our broken pieces together. Thank you.
Thanks again, brother, for such a wonderful question.
You're welcome.
This is how I see it. Whether you support George Weah or not, whether you like or dislike George Weah is the president of Liberia. Liberia is bigger than George Weah. Liberia is bigger than all of us. So right after the election in 2017, I told my team that what we're going to do is to travel around, find investment opportunities to bring to Liberia. But I was also firm with my team that we're going to try using our own money to travel the world and do what we can for our people. But because I have friends within the corridor of the United Nations, ECOWAS, and AU, there were talk among those people that there's going to be a huge slowdown because the 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 international community did not have too much confidence in the new president. But you know, it happens to every president. But nevertheless, I left Liberia 3 months after the election and was on my feet. I remember the first place I ended up was in London, trying to get some investors to come into Liberia. We did London, we did Paris, and travel around to Asia, Japan, United States, of course, Nigeria, where I'm at right now, in Ghana, to bring some relief to the people there. But everybody was playing wait and see kind of game. People were saying that, look, we gotta wait and see what your new administration do. You know, and McGill, the guy now who's the Minister of State, Presidential Affairs.
That's right.
Good friend of mine. Even George himself a good friend of mine because we all worked together in 2003. Like I was trying to tell you earlier, I was the one who convinced George Weah to run as vice to Winston Tubman. I did that by myself. And I have witnesses I can name. Speak to Winston Tubman himself about that. Speak to George Solo about that. Speak to even Nathaniel McGill when everybody thought it wasn't going to happen. And I raised a whole lot of money for that 2011 campaign for those guys. All right? So those guys and I, we friends, you know, I always told people that, listen, George Weah is not my enemy. He will never be my enemy. I disagree with some of his value system, but he will never be my enemy. Even my own middle name is Weah. You understand? So I got nothing personally against the president. But the president's policy made it very, very difficult to bring investment in the country, to be honest with you, brother. Okay, his policies, it's tough. When you talk to investors for some of us who've been running around doing little businesses around,
right?
If you're going to bring investors into your country or anywhere for that matter, the first thing investors are looking for is political stability.
That's right.
Now, ask yourself, is there any political stability in Liberia? You understand? I put that to the audience. Another second thing investors are looking for, an independent judiciary free from corruption. Free from corruption. You can go to a temple of justice or sitting judge where play games to take your money. And then investors are looking for a vibrant banking system. They're looking for that.
That's right.
You know, a lot of questions when you sit down with people, how do I get my money out? They want to know. You know, so it's difficult. And like for me, I like to be honest with people. I'm not going to play game when, you know, you telling an investor, oh, you will get your money out, don't worry about it. And then you hearing talk coming out of Liberia about people cannot get their savings out of the banking system there.
Terrible.
And then the biggest boogeyman herself is this massive corruption that is in every sector in the society. All of these things scare investors away.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm a sound like I'm beating on the president. Well, sometimes we all got to take a little beating, to be honest with you.
That's right.
But I'm not looking to beat on the president with hate. You know, I got spanked by my parents when I was a child. I spank my own kids too, but I didn't do it with hate. So I do not want the president or some of his supporters listening. Oh, this guy hates the president. No, it's not about hate. It's about moving our country forward. So what do? Even about what, a month ago, 2 months ago, there was a tape of the president's own chairman of his ruling party, CDC, Honorable Molu, yes. He came up and said on that recording that it will take a miracle for this country to turn around.
Yeah.
And believe me, if Molu is saying that, believe me, the rest of them around the president, they too are saying that. But guess what? That's enough of the problem, because for me, I'm an optimistic guy. I still believe that President Weah can turn things around. I have evidence. You know, I don't talk much. I read it down.
Yep.
I have evidence. When the president took over, 2018 sometimes, I came to Washington. I put an agenda together unknowing to President Weah to meet with some U.S. government people to find a way where they can help George Weah and the Liberian people. You know, I don't want George Weah to fade. Or George Weah, to be honest with you, when George Weah as president, when he wake up in the morning, his breakfast is ready. When George Weah say, I need to eat this, it's ready. So the president is not suffering.
Of course not.
But how many of our people
That's where the problem lies.
are dying because they can't even take their family to the hospital? No money. How many of them waking up and they can't eat? They like, what the hell I'm going to eat? What am I going to find today? So it is incumbent on all of us to find any means to help this country, to help our people. You know, this story I just told you about me putting some things together, a document together to help promote George Weah in Washington, D.C. This is the first time I'm publicly saying that. And that document is still available. It's still available. I have evidence of the people I met in D.C. My running mate, Dave Dixon, was with me in Washington. An advisor of mine, Joseph Julie, was with me in Washington. And when I did that, both my running mates and my advisor agreed with me. But some of our friends around the world, because I have friends all over, they told me, don't do that, don't do it, don't do it. Don't give this guy your plans, don't give him nothing. He's going to fail. And I said, no. If God wants me to be president of Liberia, I'm going to be president. So I can care less. You know, in Liberia, when growing up as a boy, the opposition always wanted the president to go down. That's the political thing, you know, so it's not news.
Wow.
But guess what? Liberia is too small for us to take any kind of casualty like that. So if Mr. Weah going to succeed because of something I gave him, Liberia will succeed. You know, if God says, you know, no matter what, William, even when you're 100 years old, you'll be president. If you want it, it will happen. And I told my friends, some of the friends that I have around, especially Africa, are friends of George Weah too. And they said, I'm good. But I said, no, it's not going to happen. I will. But George Weah never got it because you know what? I sent a letter to George Weah. I still have proof of that letter. In fact, I was in Monrovia when I called McGill. And I told McGill that, listen, set up a meeting with the president, you, me, and the president. We got to talk. I was in Japan. I was successful in Japan in meeting with key Japanese government officials. My running mate was there with me in Japan. My advisor, Joseph Jule, he too was with us on that trip. Very successful. And I was promoting the Liberian government there. Because at that time in Japan, you and many Liberians listening may not even know. This was January of last year. The Liberian embassy in Japan was not even functioning. The whole embassy, they had only 2 persons there. Most of the time, the embassy was closed. And this is Japan, one of the most powerful economies in the world. And our embassy was closed there. And I spoke to some business people in Japan to help us open that embassy. That money won't even come from Mr. Weah, from the government of Liberia pocket. And from Japan, I went back to America to bury my mother-in-law, came back to Liberia, and I sent a letter. I gave McGee a call, followed it with a letter. And I never got a response from the president. Never any acknowledgement. You know, one time I heard the president was saying, you need to come, don't just criticize, you need to come and, come up with your views. And I just look at him and I say, what is he talking about? The guy, you talking this thing, you and I, we were, friends, we were partners in this political thing. But nevertheless, that's enough beating on the president. I believe the president can turn this thing around. He can. Yes, there's chance. He can turn it around.
So let me ask you a question, brother William. So we had this video that came out on Front Page Africa. Let's get transition to that. Where Joey Howard Taylor, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, she kind of expressed herself. I recall Front Page Africa interview her and where she took her time and where she said she celebrated her birthday, but she was not pleased, and the media took it out of proportion. I believe you listened to that video. What's your take on that?
I will make comment, but I would like to also come back, if you allow me, to move to also talk about where the president can move forward, because I don't want people to just think that I badmouth the president and offer no solutions. No,
definitely
criticism should be constructive.
Yeah,
so
we'll come there.
Just comment on the Joy, I would say.
Thank you.
From she played a very important role in the early stage of the campaign of the CDC. There's collaboration between them because Mr. McGill, who is, if you talk to people in Liberia who knew McGee and I politically he was my little brother when we all moved around here. And McGee brought me to his village in Bapaloo. And I was so happy to be in Bapaloo.
That's right.
Met his mother, lovely woman. That today I refer to her as Auntie, Wow. But Mrs. Taylor played a very people to role in bringing them together, and I'm talking about financially. So, brother, people don't understand. For that lady to publicly say that I don't like this, sometimes I have doubts why I even left the Senate. The president should reach out to her.
Okay.
He should be magnanimous in this. He needs to reach out. If I was George, I would go to her and say, talk to me. What's going on? What is it you
Hello? 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 Yeah, hello? Okay, there you go. It was me. It was my fault. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Are you hearing me? Again, we tune into One Play One Voice, where Liberians meet other nationalities around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. I just want to say sorry, audience. I was just a technical problem we have in the studio, but now we are back. But where are you there? Hello? 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 There you go. Yeah, like I said, it was my fault. It was my fault. It's not you. Yeah, I mistakenly hit the button. That's why. Alright. Yeah, anyway, let's get to the shop break now. I hold a small break. Yeah, but you're right though. I would definitely bring it back, to that question. So you can give an input on that. Yeah. Nice interview. Very nice. Again, you are tuned in to One Play, One Voice. There is where Liberians meet other nationalities around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. We want to recognize Noosh Girl Marie. We say welcome to the studio, One Play, One Voice. We also want to recognize John Saki Kone. We say welcome to One Play, One Voice. With me tonight, I have William Tuider Sr., uh, an incredible Liberian that ran for the election 2017 in Liberia, West Africa. He is here in the city tonight. So, Brother William Tuider, just continue, because we had some technical problem in the studio, so we are back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I was just suggesting that the president needs to um, meet with the vice president. They shouldn't be bringing out their dirty laundry. And for this lady has been holding this thing down for a long time. We have people working there with them, and been hearing a whole lot of stuff for a long time now. Okay, and believe me, we always say when the cup got full, the water has to waste out.
That's right.
And she couldn't take it no more. And she didn't say much either.
Yep.
She
Yep.
did not say much in that interview. That showed responsibility on her part. You understand? She didn't say much. So, but I think the president needs to step out and meet with her, talk to her, let them go back to where they started from. And the lady said one thing. The president should be mindful of all this one coming and running his mouth. You should be mindful about that. Let them keep the focus on making the Liberian people happy, instead of these little things that would divide them. So I just think the president needs to reach out to her. I really think so.
Much, Brother William Tuider, for that great contribution towards the vice president's statement when she had an interview with Front Page Africa. So our brother, said he believed George Weah need to go back to the vice president to talk the differences, and I think that's what we really want. When it come to how governance has been ran in the country, where the president can come to bring our people back together, making them inclusive. One of the things I heard in Liberia, but I would like for the address. But before you address that, I want you to go back to your current issue that you were talking about, where you kind of came in to point out some of the corruption in the country and some things that go on in the country, and you also want to give an input in terms of how we can resolve these problems. So when you end that, question, then we'll transition, to a lot of people talking about tribalism is in the country where a lot of position is owned by the crew, so they believe that there's a lot of tribalism and nepotism in the country. So we'll be going to that. But before we go to that, I would like for you to just address the previous issue about, the national issue we have in Liberia, where you were trying to give an input to the government of Liberia. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, sir. I was trying to say earlier, the president can turn this situation around. He don't have to allow himself to get stuck. First, let me say this to you also. The economy of Liberia, little more than half of that economy, used to rely on foreign aid. This foreign aid is now coming to our country, so it's making things very difficult, So how can we move forward? The president, number one, when you're doing something, you're going to school or anything you're doing, you got to grade yourself. What did I do this month? How was my grade sheet and all of that? You can look at your grade sheet within yourself. Be real with yourself and say, you know what? I didn't do well. Okay, so what I need to cut off to put aside. What are the new things that I need to pick up to move forward here? The president needs to do that. And the only way anybody not going to do it is through arrogance. Okay? So the president don't have to be embarrassed by some of his policies that did not work. Okay? Look, that's what makes you a leader. You will come up with something and it won't work. Put it aside. Come up with something else. Keep doing it until something can work. If the president can do that, it will change his administration trajectory. That way, yeah, to slowly, steadily put the country economy on the right path. You know, everybody says agriculture, agriculture, agriculture. That's what you hear. But my question is it the Liberian way of agriculture that we're going to do? Because it has not been working. You understand? Where you, a low farmer can go and plant, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to beat on the poor little farmers. Government needs to get involved on a massive scale. On a massive scale. And two things I will ask the president to really undertake here and prioritize. True, we want agriculture, but not on not the Liberian kind of agriculture we've been involved in. Okay? So the kind of agriculture I'm talking about here is for this president to prioritize or transformation, transform the thing from this subsistence farming thing we always doing in Liberia to a more commercial style, agribusiness and production. And number two, industrialize our fishery. That ocean that we get there. Look, if this president, because we are not going to get this foreign aid coming into Liberia, we're not going to get it. And I can guarantee you, come next year, you know Liberia, I could be wrong. The bare month for Liberia is always April. And that's William Tuider saying it, you know, so I could be wrong. But let the president take these two things. Commercial style agriculture and the fishing industry. If this president let him bring experts from around the world, go to a country that is actually doing real massive fishery, bring their experts, let them sit down with our own Liberian experts. Let them sit down with them, formulate a plan, give in the blueprint, what we need to do, how we can do it to achieve success. Bring experts in the agriculture sector. Focus the money there. Don't go and start building duplexes, because right now there's nobody in the country to pay rent at those duplexes.
That's right.
You understand? Nobody there to pay rent. And when you start that, even the agriculture, it will create entrepreneurship in the country. Because people now, government will have given them the tools. My brother, you and I know that Liberia, the soil in our country.
That's right. That's right.
The soil in our country, that country is raining. Was it 2 weeks ago or a week ago? It was raining on a Sunday. Was it a Sunday? You understand? If you can do that, farmers will grow their crops. And let me tell you something. Let me say this to you. This is the magic word with the agriculture thing.
Right.
True, the agriculture, like I said, in La Broadway, you planting small little pepper here, they one's doing this little one over here. No. Let the president, like I say, industrialize this thing, commercialize it, but we should plant and produce high yield crops.
Huh.
Go check around those big countries. Europe is not far from Liberia. Europe is not far from Liberia. United States. Farm high yield crops that the international community wants. Export them. You know what's going to happen? They will bring high return, high currency back to Liberia. The little guy that in Grand G there and Nima County that you're trying to reconcile, believe me, they will have money in their pocket. We all want to see our infrastructure built. But if you building the infrastructure and the average Joe Blow don't have money in his pocket, he don't care. He need money in his pocket to send his children to school so his wife can be proud of him, so he can be proud of his wife, their kids can be proud of them.
Okay, Brother Tuider, thank you so much for that great and wonderful input given to us on One Place, One Voice, trying to connect our people around the continent of Africa. So One Place, One Voice, folks, of you watching, I first want to say Felicia Jabo, Johnson was a welcome to One Play One Voice. There is your home. We also want to say Perry Wayne, our hottest DJ in New York City. Welcome to One Play One Voice. You just heard the voice of William Tuider Sr., a great brother, and who contested for the election in Liberia. We are speaking to him from One Play One Voice. Mr. William Tuider, let's transition to this big thing that is going around the continent, across the diaspora of the Euro, England, and all the place. Right now, people are talking about nepotism, favoritism, and tribalism in Liberia. And some of the research we were doing, we came across. What we did was we wanted to see some of the ministry that His Excellency George Weah has some people to. So it might not be that accurate for those of you listening. You can do further research on that. But so far, what we have here, we say in Liberia right now, people claim the government or the Kru tribe government. That's how they describe the government now. They are saying the Kru tribe government. I don't know why they said that, but let's go through the list a little bit, and then you can tell us where your take on that. Being a candidate of our great republic, a beautiful country, the love of liberty brought us here. Number one, we have Ministry of Finance. They say he's a Kru man. That was assigned. They say LRA Commissioner General is a Kru. Number 3, Ministry of Commerce is a Kru. Number 4, Ministry of Information is a Kru. 5, GSA Director General is a Kru. 6, President Pro Tem is a Kru. Number 7, Ministry of Public Works is a Kru. Number 8, they are saying that Ministry of Agriculture is a Kru. Number 9, National Housing Authority, the NHA Managing Director is a Kru. Number 10, the FDA Managing Director is a Kru. Number 12, President of the country is a Kru. Number 13, National Police Director is a Kru. Nima County, who has now become kingmaker, only one ministry, that is the Post and Telecommunication. They have a minister. Lofa is out, and the list is endless, and etc. Where are the rest of the Liberian? So they are saying 2023 we will be counting our people. So Mr. William Tuider, being a man of experience, that ran for the election 2017. That was one of the major concerns we have in Liberia right now that people are having controversy on. And on the other hand, people are also trying to have a controversy of the censures. The censures. They said we're supposed to have every 10 years there should be a census conducted in Liberia. So it is very important that people count our people in Liberia. So these are the two concerns, and on the other hand, we had Henry Costa said in one of his broadcasts, he said George Weah, based on the fact that he don't know what he's doing, so therefore he believes censor is like counting a human being, so that's nothing in the country. So what is your take on this? What's your insight? Thank you, sir.
Well, thanks again for such a wonderful question. I have to tell you, I think I said it earlier, well, from the interview, that I do not in any way or fashion support anything that is traveling in this state. I, for me, want a free society for Liberia, the Liberian people. I want a free society.
Great.
So I do not see anything about, growing up as a young crew kid, I didn't see any negativity. We were friends with everybody, even with our young Mandingo friends. My father, my late father, was a preacher. Across from some of the houses we had around in the neighborhood, we have our Muslim brothers and sisters. When their Ramadan, their Muslim holidays came, we all dress with them and we have fun with them. When the Easter show up, they will come and have fun with us. We all wore clothes dressed for Christmas. You get that? So this thing about separating people based on ethnicity or religious ground, I do not condone anything like that at all. Even my own running mate. My running mate is Dave Dixon, is a Congo boy. Okay? But I did not choose Dave Dixon because he was Congo. I choose him because he was the right guy. I choose him because he had a vision. He just happened to be Congo. Dave did not come and work with me because I was screwed. So we, the Liberian people, we should stop doing these things. Screw this, screw that. We should be very sensitive. You know the problem sometimes with the kind of society we have, sensitivity is also good. You can have some of the smartest people, crew people, fine. But you need to diversify, man. Okay? And again, if what you are saying, because I think there's some truth to what you're saying, looking at the names you're calling and just looking in my over my head and thinking about those, picturing those ministers that some of them I know, I think you get a point and there's some truth to it. We should learn from our history, man. This thing did not work with the foundings of our country, where the children of the slaves were in control. And look what it brought us from 1847, 1980. We woke up one morning and big mess happened. When Samuel Doe came to power, I'll tell you something else too. You know, when you was calling these names to me and the ministry and the position of commerce, crew, finance, crew, what was going through my head was when Samuel Doe, I was a young boy, a young kid in 83, I'm sure it was 83, when Kalonko Nuo and the Liberians stage of fake coup that happens in part of Nima and then Monrovia. Samuel Doe went to the OAU Center and he was calling, what is it the Nima people want from me? Every ministry, this ministry, they will call Minister of Sports. And they will call Moses Dwopo. Moses Dwopo died in the war. He used to be one of my favorite ministers as a child in the government. And they will call this other one, Harry Nguyen, Gil. And that's what was going through my head. This is a movie that we all witness. If the president is doing this, and maybe he's not sensitive to what he's doing, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt, he needs to change the trajectory. In fact, his administration is not working for the Liberian people. So if at all this is what he's doing, but I'll tell you something, I have to give the president the benefit of the doubt. You know, sometimes better we're doing things and we don't realize what we're doing. You know, so he needs to come to grips with the Liberian people and say, you know what? Yeah, people are saying this thing. Don't be embarrassed as a leader. Don't be embarrassed. When you do something that's not right, even if you don't want the public to know, do it quietly and change tactics. So he needs to change tactics. This is what happened in Korea.
Again, that was the voice of our brother, great brother, William Tuider Sr, who is trying to speak on points that's everyone concerned on, that his take. He believes if there is what happening, and if it is a true research that been done in Liberia, he clearly stated that maybe sometimes we do things and we are not too sensitive. So what George Weah know what he's doing, or maybe he might not, he don't realize it. But the fact that it came out, our brother Tuider is saying that everyone should be very inclusive, and we should try to restructure and put things together so that we all can work together as Liberians. And I strongly stand with him. And just to add on, I'm thinking we have reached a stage where we need to kind of unite and forget this thing called tribalism. Because for me, one thing I always say, I classify everyone in Liberia as Liberians. I do not say, Basolian or you came from no. I mean, the fact that you're a Liberian, we are all brothers and sisters and we are family. I think we should try to kind of like encourage, peace, love, and unity among ourselves so we can be able to drive on. But again, you are tuned in the One Play One Voice. We thank you, audience, for being tuned in and watching us tonight. Before our brother Tuider gave his his closing statement, because it's late in Nigeria. He's speaking from all the way in Nigeria, and believe me, it's going to 3 in the morning. So we want to give him a chance.
Almost 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. So we want to give him a chance to rest. So before that, before he gave a closing statement to tell the Liberians, because the current situation in Liberia, and to give his input, by advising the government tonight. That will be the closure of this broadcast. We'll take this time to just go on a commercial break, and when we come back, that's Brother Tuider will be giving his closing statement, at which time we will be ending the broadcast. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
King Java, see Papa, yeah.
King Java, brother. Everybody.
Yeah, boy.
They come what I come to you, not smoke come here, I come to you. King Java, say you not smoke producer in the country. Everybody say King Java, see you, Papa. So I be my brother to you.
How are you, bro?
No sumo ready, not ready for musician in the pay, you getting me? That boy can be ready music for everybody, you getting me? So, ayo. Now you can run music for everybody, but you will tell you who can run music for. So I bring you now for you to produce it. You getting me? I bring you for you to make it. On say they 2018 year a new year. And they book when me say for everybody so King Jaffa my brother yo. Sammy, they King Jaffa.
Yeah.
Sammy tell you what you can do.
Hello, Papa, King Jaffa. Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, SOG record boss.
How are you?
God bless you.
You are cool musician.
Yeah.
You are better also.
Yeah.
Then listen to it.
Only picky days, son, all around here, I sing here, around here.
Yeah.
Most of them, I let me say for them.
You see that?
Yeah. Let me say for them.
And what eh?
Local boy, Play Store. The one that can call Play Store the things. That means let me say for him.
You see that?
Yeah. They even dance. They travel all over, come back. I think they don't know me, can add a people me. That means let me say for dance.
You see what? He after that dancing.
I went there, I was to that pay that you do it.
I let me say for dance. I made him to sing Google song because I made learning song there for him. I don't even want to talk about Teddy Rao. Teddy Rao, that one there. He can't beg me inside my room for me to learn song for him. I let me say for Teddy Rao. I made him today, be musician in Liberian. And PCK Air Franking.
Wow.
I don't even want to talk about that one there because who did they baking me? I let me say for PCK Air Franking.
You're cool. That's all.
Even the one where he chakra.
Eric, I was there. If you let me say for Eric,
I let me say for Eric. I don't want to be writing me say for people because they're writing me say and they know they do not know me.
Ayo.
So I want to be on the MRC.
Okay, I understood you.
Yeah, I want to
Don't break the microphone.
I want to break it.
Say you are cool better.
Yeah.
That time for you to sing.
They drop the sorting for him.
So even my son said they still in Nigeria time while or in the hotel. In the living son now.
How you manage?
I don't know that in the hotel they see that one. But I will drop it for you later because I know the whole beat.
Then listen to her.
Yeah. Even Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, I used to teach that one how to dance.
You see that?
Yeah.
You don't want ready so you know it.
Yeah.
You can sing it.
Yes. And
this is it.
I want to drop it for you small.
Drop it, bro. Drop it.
So I want to listen to the song.
Okay. Let me drop one for you here.
Yeah, then listen.
And see your holy record. Hey, I see what we're drinking. Who not drinking liquor? Who drinking drinks? Who not drinking liquor? Who drinking drinks? Hey, who not drinking liquor? Who drinking drinks? Papi, I draw the second one for you. I know you enjoy that one. I draw the second one for you. Now left it to the state of Danima. Hey, no concentrate to the Parliament.
Patoma.
Hey, but the money payment set to the man. Hey, left it to the state of Danima. Hey, no concentrate to the Parliament. Hey, but the money payment. Hey, but the money payment set to the man. I'll try the last one for you.
And before you try that one, take down with your finger.
Okay.
Yeah?
No, I
want
for you to be feeling the spirit.
You know what for you to bust the apple, you getting me?
Yeah.
Drop the loud one.
down.
Hello, Moscata. Hey, tell me, if it not you, then tell me there are who now. Hello, Moscata.
What it be no matter song.
If it not you, then tell me there are who now.
You must sit down, my brother.
Hello, Moscata. Hey, my love. Hey, no, go give you my love. Hey, my love. Hey, no, tell you my love. Hello, Moscata. Papi, I know you enjoy it. King Jaffa.
Yeah.
But I don't suppose to use the bill.
Yeah. He said singing?
Masaka be mo chemo makwi you fail. King Jaffa see you papi, yeah.
King Jaffa, brother. Everybody.
Yeah, boy.
They come what I come to you, not small come here, I come to you. King Java, you know, say you not small producer in the country here. Everybody say King Java, see you, papi. So I bring my brother to you. How are you, bro? No small writing, not well for musician in the pay, you getting me? That the boy can be writing music for everybody, you getting me? So I know that you can write music for everybody, but you will tell you who can write music.
All right, audience. Again, thank you so much for your patience. We're just trying to bring some jokes for you to kind of keep you engaged. You are tuned into One Play One Voice. There is where Liberians meet other nationalities around the continent of Africa to promote nothing but peace, love, and unity. Bringing back our African tradition to the USA. Let's unite. It's all about African connection. So again, that's how we're going to end the broadcast tonight. Our brother going to close it, giving a closing statement to give his input on what the administration can do, and I think this is the right thing for the right way for to go because criticizing the government and giving some constructive criticism and then also giving input, I think it can help to restructure the government in Liberia. So again, our brother wants to thank you so much. So we'll give you this time to kind of give your closing statement at One Play One Voice. Thank you so much, Brother Tuider. It's all yours.
Okay, thank you again, my brother. I'll tell you something. One good thing the president can do, like I mentioned earlier, this agriculture and industrialized fishing fishing company or whatever to move the economy forward. It might look a little petty, but I'm telling you, these things can actually move this country gradually. So, second thing that the president can do, the president, and I know others have been calling for the president to fire some of his ministers. I think he should do that. He should retire them. He should retire them. Some of those guys might probably be his good friends, but this is not about my friend and your friend or my brother or your brother or tribal man or this. It's about Liberia, the Liberian people. It's about making things right for our country. So the president needs to reshuffle his entire administration. Get rid of people. Get rid of people, He should do that. He shouldn't be embarrassed by it. I said that earlier. You shouldn't be embarrassed by it. Tell the Liberian people, so look, we all make mistakes. And I know these 2 years that went by, some mistakes were made. But I thought he was going to say that during his state of the state address, that we're going to, this year, going to be different. My political chairman in Liberia have a phrase that he always say, this time must be different. Let this time be different. Mr. President, come out. Look, I'll be honest with you. When I tried to do some things for the government, I wasn't looking to even be on salary for the government. I wasn't even looking to be in the government. I didn't mind working outside. They call me. They call me when doing the second round. But I say I will do better. Okay? But he has to change the whole administration and run. Get a new look, because, and he shouldn't be embarrassed. I'm telling you, there's a huge chance for this man, okay? And he can change it. He got 4 years to change this thing. And let me start this. My dad is going to be dying. The Liberian people, in as much we talk too much about each other, Liberian people are forgiving people. I truly believe that. Let this president come up and tell them we're in this way. What will be done? I will correct that mistake. Words. It shouldn't be just words. It should be done by deeds. Get rid of some of the bad people around you. And Mr. President, he should be very careful, mindful about those sycophantic nature of people that are coming around him. You know, thinking that they like him because when they go behind his back, they destroy him. They destroy him. Okay? He should be mindful of them. Look, when a guy comes to you to gossip in a bad way about somebody, to tear them down, you know right away. You don't need a genius to tell you what this guy's intentions are. You know right away. So the president should be very careful and let him go back to his vice president. Let him go talk to her. That woman is a smart woman. Let him come, be my partner like we started. Let's work. Let that woman be the envoy that will run around to make things happen for him. Okay? And I tell you this, brother, I will always come up tomorrow if the president need me. And like I say, and I'll be honest with you, I would never take a position in the president government, but I can work outside the government free of charge. Free of charge. I'm not looking for money from the government. The government don't have it. Okay? I would do what I can to help. I don't mind doing it. Okay, even though we all in the future will be running for the presidency, but this is George Weah time. Let him succeed. Let him succeed. Let him succeed. And I don't have a problem with that. You know? So just to end, brother, our country, this country, sometimes we love it, but I tell you, it is embarrassing what our leaders have done to this country. From our people say since J.J. Roberts' time. Liberia since 1847 has been in a deplorable state up to now. The children in that country are not being properly educated. You know that. The nation healthcare system, everything is a mess. Nothing. And you know the reason: corruption, government mismanagement, and the lack of vision. Those are the root causes of our country underdevelopment. So to end tonight, for me, what I've been doing since 2017, I've been traveling around talking to Liberians. I have been vetting Liberians because I'm looking for good, decent Liberian people who believe in justice, have a true sense of justice. I am looking and have been working on this, bringing a coalition, trying to build this coalition of honorable Liberians, bringing them together who believe in the idea of probity, people who believe in the idea of property, accountability, and true justice. This, if we can build a coalition of people who believe in these things, that will be the pathway to a prosperous Liberian nation. And this has been my core belief, brother. Thank you for the interview, man.
Thank you so much, Brother Tuda. I mean, you have been doing a great job, and believe me, I'm one of the person, I research people very well. I know as an educator for the past 13 years in New York teaching, I can tell you that we have great people, we have great Liberians. One of the things that we need to do is just, to change the mindset and for us to come together. And I rather stand with you on that. Justice is what we need in Liberia, and we are going to work towards it. We have Liberians that have heart for the country, and these are the kind of people we want. We want somebody that will love the country and love its people. So we will continue to just strive. And one thing I tell Liberians just before you go, but that we shouldn't give up. It's a political struggle. Our economic is there. We have a crisis. We have things going on. And I strongly believe in the country. I have, my team and myself, we have served that country from 2014 up to now, about 5 years, approximately 5 years. We push into that nation just to make sure that we put things together. But again, the resources in the country, and the country can be better. But because we have just few hand people try to sit over the resources, so it makes things very complicated. I personally went on the street, from street to street, interviewing young people, younger people, and all they tell me, they have no future. In the morning they wake up, all they do is go to do pimping. Pimping is like, for the audience who don't know what pimping is, in the country of my origin, Liberia, it's a motorcycle. That's why they have to ride,
exactly.
just to survive. So these are things it's very complicated in the country. So it's an honor to have a great man in the city tonight. To just honor him. To be able to relating on some of these things that we can do to come together as a nation. So again, with that said, Brother Tuda, I wanted to thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we look forward for more interviews. Thank you so much, and have a very good night.
You too, my dear brother. Thank you very much, and a prosper New Year's to you and the Liberian people.
Thank you so much, and have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
So again, that was One Play One Voice. That's how we end the broadcast tonight. Speaking to you, my name is James. I was your host throughout the program, and I will be here next time for more interviews. So just watch out and always tune in at One Play One Voice. Thank you so much, and have a good night.